The internet is said to be one of the greatest achievements. It allows us to stay connected with each other, it provides us with easy access to endless information, and can even solve crimes. That's right, the internet and its users have solved countless crimes. Hey, hi, hello, what's up? Welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10 and welcome to today's video. How are y'all doing today? I'm your host, Lindsay Ivan, and today I'm bringing you the top 10 mysterious crimes solved by the internet. Starting off at number 10, we have the daylight robbery. No matter how clever you may think you are, there's a good chance you won't get away with your planned crime. In 2011, a woman had her home broken into by two armed robbers. These robbers held her at gunpoint for over an hour while ransacking her house. Unfortunately, police were unable to find any DNA in her home or any leads to who these individuals might be. That was until 3 years later. Now, her friend was looking up her house on Google Street View to find directions on how to get there. That's when she saw that Google had captured an image of the two robbers outside of her house. Cops were then able to reopen the case and follow this new lead. So yeah, Google Earth is the biggest snitch of all. Talk about lucky timing though. I feel like I could do a whole section on mysteries solved by Google Earth. Let me know if you would be interested in that video. Moving on, at number 9, we have the Philadelphia attacks. On a late Thursday night, two men were sent to the hospital after being badly beaten and attacked by a group of young adults. Surveillance footage shows a group of 15 white, well-dressed males and females wandering the streets of Philadelphia. A couple of individuals then yelled out some homophobic slurs at two men before attacking them. Police released this footage on YouTube with hope that people could identify the criminals. That was when Twitter user FanSince09 decided to take on the case. And in fact, he solved it entirely through social media. Now, this user scoured social media until he found another user tweet a picture of the group of individuals at a restaurant. He did more research and found the name of the restaurant, La Viola. From there, he went to Facebook's graph search. Basically, this is a search system that can show you who has recently checked into the restaurant. From there, he was able to narrow down who the suspects were. He has been a huge help in solving this case. In our 8th spot, we have the lottery winner murder. In 2009, Abraham Shakespeare, a Florida man and winner of a $32 million lottery, was found murdered. The police had no leads on this case or even any suspects. However, individuals created a forum for Abraham's case. There, web sleuths were able to post theories on who they believed the murderer was. Obviously, the main motive for killing was thought to be his lottery winnings. So, who would be someone who wanted Abraham for his money? The sleuths ended up creating a theory that a woman named Doris Moore, referred to as Dee Dee, was the murderer. Now, Dee Dee was his financial advisor, and cops could not prove that she was guilty until she started commenting on the forum. So Dee Dee saw the theories pointing fingers at her and decided to hop on the discussion. At first, she created an account anonymously. There, she would refute those accusations. Then she would post comments as herself and further defend herself. However, web sleuths noticed that both the accounts had matching IP addresses. It was suspicious how she was trying to point fingers at other people and go through this length to clear her name. Police were able to use this to arrest her. Eventually, Dee Dee was found guilty and was sentenced to life in prison. Coming in at number 7, we have the stolen laptop. On a trip to New York, a man named Sean Power had his laptop, cell phone, health card, and other important documents stolen from him. He thought that these items were gone forever until he found an app called Prey. Now, Prey ended up locating his laptop, but that's not all. It also took screenshots of what the individual was searching and turned on the web camera to show him who the thief was. It showed him that this man was at a bar in Manhattan. He then went on Twitter to tweet about his findings. In fact, some of his New York followers went to the bar to keep an eye on this man until authorities arrived. The app also allowed Sean to figure out the thief's name from his Skype and Gmail account. Sean eventually was reunited with his laptop. I'm telling you, that's why I have something covering up my webcam. Like, it's just so easy for people to hack into and just watch you, so. But I'm glad that justice was served. Moving on, for number 6, we have the drunk driver. In 1968 on Halloween night, 4-year-old Carolee Ashby was out with her cousin when she was hit and killed by a drunk driver. The driver failed to stop as they were crossing the intersection. Now, this was a cold case for 45 years until police decided to share the details of the case on Facebook. That was when one Facebook user came forward with more information on the crime. This woman lived in the area in 1968, but now she lives in Florida. She told police that she was asked by the Parkhurst family to tell police that she was with Douglas and his brother on Halloween night. She always wondered why she was asked this. With this information, police reinterrogated Douglas Parkhurst and he admitted to killing Carolee that night. However, no charges can be filed against him since the statute of limitations has expired, which is incredibly frustrating. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the stolen Caravan. In 2010, a Caravan was stolen off of someone's driveway in broad daylight. Police had no leads on this case. They don't know what happened to the car, who took it, or where it is now. That was until a year later the owner was looking at his house on Google Street View. And I'm sure we've all done this, like you just browse through your town using Google Maps, like clicking down. For some reason it was a really entertaining thing for me to do as a child, so. Anyways, the owner ended up seeing the thieves in action on his driveway. He shared this discovery with the police and 2 years later the culprit was found and arrested. Again, talk about perfect timing. In our 4th spot, we have the selfie criminals. In 2015, 2 Houston men stole a computer, iPad, and $5,000. Now, they probably would have gotten away with it. That is, if they didn't like to take selfies that much. Yep, you heard me correctly. These 2 men used these devices to take numerous selfies. And apparently they're unaware of the feature known as iCloud, because every selfie they took got uploaded to the cloud. A week after the theft, the owner of the device went on his iCloud and saw the photos of the thieves. He turned this information over to the police and these men were caught and arrested. Like, that's actually kind of funny. Like, imagine going through your iCloud and just seeing these random photos. Like, who are these men? I mean, you can thank Apple for having your back. Moving on, in our 3rd spot, we have the mysterious bucket. In 2001, Ronald Telfer, a truck driver, noticed an abandoned plastic bucket at a truck stop in Missouri. Months later, when he returned, the bucket was still there. This time, he decided to investigate it. He initially was like, hey, a free bucket, and he wanted to take it to feed his pigs. When he dumped out the contents of the bucket, he thought it was animal parts in concrete. Turns out, it was a human head. Now, all of this evidence, including images of the man's skull, was uploaded to a website for internet sleuths to solve. Now, a woman named Ellen Leach saw this skull and decided to cross-reference it with a missing person site. She compared the skull's facial shape and features to numerous missing individuals. That is when she noticed that the skull's features matched that of a man named Gregory May. Her findings were given to the police and as a result, they were able to solve his murder. Turns out he was murdered by his friend Doug DeBruin over his valuable Civil War memorabilia. Now, Ellen has helped solve 8 cases around the country. I think it's time that they start paying her for all her help, or just give her a medal or something, honestly. In our 2nd spot, we have the hacker. Brad Williams was often referred to as a social outcast. He would spend unhealthy amounts of hours on his computer. He never had a social life and he didn't even go to his prom. Well, turns out that Brad was doing important sleuthing business on his computer all these years. So Brad created a Trojan virus that allowed him to take control of any computer that downloaded it. He ended up infiltrating 3,000 computers. Now what he would do was go through individuals' emails and documents to try and find online pedophiles. He spent 3 years tracking down these pedophiles, even ignoring arrest threats from the police. Well, Brad ended up exposing numerous child predators across Canada, the US, and Russia. See, this is one individual that uses their power for good. And in our number 1 spot, we have the hit and run. In August of 2018, police were investigating a hit and run accident. It left a bicyclist dead at the scene of the crime. Now the only clue to go by was a small part of a car headlight. Washington State Police uploaded a picture of the car part to Twitter and asked for help identifying it. The image got spread around and ended up on the subreddit "What is this thing?" That is when a user was accurately able to identify what car it belonged to. This user was a state vehicle inspector for a long time. He posted saying it was from a 1988 Chevy Silverado headlamp bezel. This narrowed down the police search and they ended up arresting the criminal responsible for the hit and run. So this Reddit user single-handedly solved this case. Pretty interesting. And that's all I have for you for today's video. Let's move on to our comment shout out. I'll be shouting out comments from my video Top 10 Real Scary Stories That Should Be Turned Into Movies Part 2. Alex70413 commented, favorite snack is ranch wheat thins and whipped cream cheese together. It's so addicting. Interesting combo. Not sure what to say. I guess I can't judge it until I try it. Are there any other weird food combinations that you guys like out there? Let me know in the comments below. I mean, I like to dip my Ritz crackers in peanut butter, but I don't think that's like super weird. Peter Quill commented, Lindsay looks like that vampire from the black and white movies. How? And like, is it just a specific vampire, or do I just look like a vampire in general? But honestly, after watching Twilight when I was younger, I really wanted to become a vampire. But I think it's just because I'm so pale. I can't help it. Vinigas Morales commented, okay, but the Karen movie would be terrifying. Honestly, it could make a good comedy horror, like a parody of some horror movie, just having a mom named Karen going around and stalking store managers. I think it'd be pretty hilarious. And that's all the comments I'm shouting out for today. If you want to be featured in my next comment shoutout, then be sure to comment something down below. And as always, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Most Amazing Top 10 for more amazing videos. I'm your host, Lindsay Ivan, and I'll see you when I see you. Don't start that again. La voila. Viola. Never mind, that's not voila. You hear them having like a huge social party in the next room? They're playing like piano music or like what's going on? At first, she created an account anonymously. Sometimes I just can't pronounce words. Anonymously. At first, she created an account anonymously. Anonymously. Guilty, guilty, take him away. It left a bicyclist? What? I can't say it now.
Just say cyclist.
A cyclist, no. Yeah. Bicyclist.
Bicyclist.
Stop it, bicyclist.
Why does it matter?
Don't say it! Keegan, now it's throwing me off. It left a bicyclist.
Just say cyclist.
Shut up. It left a bicyclist dead at the scene of the crime. Nailed it.